Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today, I want to touch upon a very important issue, and I want to share this thing which has been very close to my heart. And this is the practice. These are the things which I've been discussing it on and off for the last 30 years. Actually, more than 30 years now, in one way or the other. Why? Because the thing is, these are the thing which we want to discuss today is as to how businesses can grow and why most businesses fail. What the reasons are for the failure of so many millions of businesses all over the world, including, of course, the halal ones as well. Brothers and sisters, the global halal industry, as you all know, is on the rise. It's been consistently growing for the past several decades, at least 3 decades now. Every now and then, we hear success stories of newbie entrepreneurs in various sectors of the global Islamic economy. However, many halal businesses also fail, and they fail miserably. For us to become successful entrepreneurs in the halal industry and beyond, we need to be aware of the reasons behind these failures. And today, we would like to discuss the main reasons due to which businesses fails anywhere in the world. It's not specific with halal businesses, but every type of businesses. They fail. Why? Because most probably they do not adhere to the right business strategies. They do not understand the failure. They do not really understand the reasons as to why their businesses are failing. So that's why they fail. And one of the least understood aspects of entrepreneurship is why small businesses fail. And there's a simple reason for this confusion. Most of this evidence comes from the entrepreneurs themselves. I've had a close-up view of numerous business failures, including, of course, a few startups of my own. And from my observation and my experiences, my failures and my successes, the reasons for failure cited by the owners are frequently off point. Makes sense to me. When we think about it, if the owners knew what they were doing wrong, they might have been able to fix the problem. And, often it's simply a matter of denial or not knowing exactly what the nature of the problem is. So that's why most of us are fail in their businesses. In many cases, what happens is, the customers, or I should say ex-customers, have a better understanding than the owners themselves as to what was not working in a particular company. The usual suspects that the owners tend to blame are the bank, the government, or the idiot partner. I don't deny that these could be the reason for your failure, but rarely does the owner's finger point at the owner himself or herself. Of course, there are cases where something out of the owner's control has gone wrong. And of course, I've seen it a lot of times, but I've also found those instances to be in the minority. What follows, based on my own experiences and observations, the top 10 reasons small halal businesses fail. Of course, we're going to discuss these issues, these reasons. And as you might expect, this list is not pretty, it's not simple, it's not unique, and it does not contain any of those usual suspects which we have just described. So, brothers and sisters, we got to have really detailed understanding of what the reasons are due to which small halal businesses fail. The number one reason I would like to mention is there's not, for example, if there is not enough demand for your products or services, the math just won't work. For example, if there's not enough demand for the product or service at a price that will produce a profit for your company, that is going to be a complete failure for your business. This, for example, would include a startup trying to compete against Best Buy or Amazon or even eBay. Frankly speaking, if you want to be successful in e-commerce, you should not compete directly with Amazon. They are too big and they're too smart. You cannot beat them directly. You got to have your own marketing strategies to succeed in the e-commerce business, the type of business which Amazon or eBay has. The second reason I would like to mention is that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are stubborn, entrepreneurs who cannot get out of their way. They may be stubborn, risk averse, and conflict averse, meaning they need to be liked by everyone, even employees and vendors who cannot do their jobs. They may be perfectionists, greedy, self-righteous, paranoid, indignant, or insecure. Do you get the idea? I hope you do. Sometimes you can even tell these owners the problems and they will recognize that you are right, but continue to make the same mistakes over and over again and again. The third reason which I'm going to mention to you guys is that these type of entrepreneurs, they overstretch their businesses. This one might be the saddest of all reasons for failures. A successful business that is ruined by overexpansion. Don't stretch yourself too thin. You can only do certain things in a short span of time. This would include moving into markets that are not as profitable, that you don't know about, experiencing growing pains that damage the business, or borrowing too much money in an attempt to grow at a particular rate. Sometimes less is more. So please focus yourself. Don't stretch yourself too much. And don't try to do everything. Don't try to enter into every business on the face of the earth. Have a complete focus of what you are doing, what you can do the best, and then forget the rest. Only then you can become successful in any business you are pursuing. The fourth reason which I would like to mention is these failed entrepreneurs follow poor accounting practice. You cannot be in control of a business if you don't know what is coming in, what is going out, what your numbers are. And with bad numbers or no numbers at all, a company is flying blind. And it happens all the time. Why? For one thing, it's a common and disastrous misconception that an outside accounting firm hired primarily to do the taxes will keep watch over the business. In reality, it doesn't happen. That is your job. That is the job of the chief financial officer. In many cases, in the case of small businesses, of financial officers could be you, the chief executive officer, the owner of the business themselves. So you got to keep in mind, you got to have a basic but sound knowledge of good accounting practices. Only then you can keep the direction of your company in a positive direction. The fifth reason which I would like to mention is these type of entrepreneurs, they lack healthy cash cushion. If we've learned anything from recessions in our country, it's a business is cyclical and bad things could happen at any time. And of course, they will happen over time. The loss of an important customer, for example, one of the bad things which could happen to your business, or critical employee could go away, could run away, could go to another company or whatever. The arrival of a new competitor or the filing of a lawsuit. These things can all stress the finances of a company. That company is already out of cash and you don't have any borrowing potential. You may not be able to fully recover from the disaster. Now, brothers and sisters, the sixth reason I would like to mention for the failure of most businesses globally is that these type of entrepreneurs do not run their businesses professionally. I've never met a halal business owner, guys and girls, who described his or her operation as mediocre. But we cannot all be above average. It's not possible. Repeat and referral business is critical for most businesses, as is some degree of marketing, depending on the nature of the business. This is essential. It's critical for your business if you really want to become successful in the long term. Now, the seventh reason for failure is those type of businesses, there are operational inefficiencies, paying too much for rent, for example, labor and materials. Lean companies, are always at an advantage. Not having the tenacity or stomach to negotiate terms that are reflective of today's economy may leave a company uncompetitive in the market which they are serving. So you got to understand that you got to control your operational inefficiencies, get rid of those inefficiencies, and control your finances. And you know what? Maybe we have mentioned it in one way or the other. The number eight reason I would like to repeat, and it's worth repeating, lack of focus, vision, planning, standards, and everything else that goes into good management. Throw fighting partners or unhappy relatives into the mix, and you have a disaster in your company. Simple as that. And the ninth reason I would like to mention is that most companies, they don't have any proper succession plan, due to which The successors, they fight with one another and they destroy the businesses of their ancestors. Don't do that. Have a successful succession plan so that the coming generations could also benefit from the businesses which you have done for such a long period of time. And last but not the least, the number 10 reason due to which businesses fail is these businesses fail to read the changing market dynamics. For example, bookstores, music stores, printing businesses, and so many others are dealing with changes in technology, consumer demand, and competition for huge companies with more buying power and advertising dollars. In life, brothers and sisters, at the end of the day, I would like to say that in life, you may have forgiving friends and relatives, but entrepreneurship is rarely forgiving. Eventually, everything shows up in the soap. If people don't like the soap, employees stop working for you and customers stop doing business with you. And that's why countless halal businesses fail. And I hope you will not be one of them. You will be totally different from failed businesses. Inshallah, within a few days' time, I would like to come up with another episode from the Halal Times. So till then, Salam Alaikum.